Divane's thesis explores how South Africa-based Zimbabwe-skilled migrants are dissuaded from returning home permanently. His study was conceptualized against the background that return migration has often been explained based on migrant failure or success in the host country. His thesis contributes to return migration theorizing by introducing a new diaspora trap framework which argues that permanent settlement in South Africa is not always voluntary. Unrealistic social constructs and measures of economic progression deter migrants regardless of their migration experience from returning home. The rest of his profile is in the booklet. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology on Nzima Divane.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Makapela Stelo Leonard. Congratulations. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor Tanga, to present a brief profile on his research.
Congratulations. All protocol duly observed. Makapela thesis is grounded in the right-based approach and the mixed method paradigms, and the findings reveal that despite incessant rise of service delivering protests, the protesters have shown poor knowledge of the South African Constitution and its socio-economic right content. The study further reveals that, contrary to popular assumptions that the post-apartheid state has failed to fulfill socio-economic rights, there were instances where the state has done pretty well, and clear instances where it has failed dismally, thus achieving mixed results. Mr. Makapela is a lecturer in the Department of Sociology. The title of his thesis, Pursuing Socio-Economic Rights in Post-Apartheid South Africa, a case study of Buffalo City Municipality, Metropolitan Municipality, rather.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology on Makapela Stelo Leonard.
Cut. I hereby confer the degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Chibindi Felicia. In the absence of the supervisor, I shall call upon Prof. Adu to present a brief profile of her research.
All protocol duly observed. Shibindi is a lecturer in Shinyoyi University of Technology, Zimbabwe. Thesis title is Strategies Used to Cater for Students with Diverse Academic Background in the Provision of Textiles, Clothing, Design Programs, a case study of 2 universities of technology in Zimbabwe. Our thesis utilized a mixed method research approach in sync with the adapted pragmatism paradigm, using the concurrent regulation design. The study established that more institutional support and curriculum implementation reform was required in order to improve on the status quo. It is also revealed that it was wrong to assume that all lecturers had the capacity to effectively deliver in classes that comprise students from diverse backgrounds. The rest of what the examiner says are inside the program. Thank you.
Compared to traditional approaches, the study adopted a positivist paradigm, a quantitative approach, and quasi-experimental pre-post-test design. The theoretical framework was a constructivism. The sample comprised 170 students from a population of 461 who were registered for National Diploma either in science or in engineering. The interventions were grounded on learner-centered RBAs for the treatment group, whereas the traditional teacher-centered approaches continued for the control group. The instrument consisted of 19 items on functions, differentiation, and integration. The data were analyzed using descriptive and inferential statistical tools. The main finding was that RBA made a significant enhancement in the conceptual understanding of calculus. 2 papers co-authored with the supervisor have been already published in Department of Higher Education and Training accredited international journals. A 3rd paper was presented at an international conference and was published by the conference organizers in a peer-reviewed international scientific journal. The candidate gratefully acknowledges the financial assistance of the University of Fort Hare and Walter Sisulu University. The title was reform-based approaches in the learning and teaching of a conceptual understanding of calculus for diploma students at a South African university. And I was the supervisor. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education on Corsia Johanna.
I hereby confer the degree. Just for that.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Makasi Cordelia Noma Absinia. I will now call the contest promoter, Professor Sima Posa, to present a brief profile of her research.
Makasi's study sought to investigate the implementation of the policy on religious equity in public schools. The study was located in the pragmatist paradigm. It followed a mixed methods research approach and a concurrent triangulation design. Among the results, the study revealed that there was a general understanding of religious equity and fair treatment of religious by participants. However, it was found that Christianity was the dominant religion and practiced largely on school activities and observances. To some extent, learners from minority religions were allowed to exercise their manuscripts drawn from the thesis are currently under review with accredited journals.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education on Makasi Kodolia Noma Abyssinia.
I hereby confer the degree. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Msasengwe Makiwa Ellen. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor Mshoriwa, to present a brief profile. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education on Msasengwe Makiwa Ellen.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Madonga Edward. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor Mshoriwa, to present a brief profile of his research.
Madonga Edward's study assessed the implementation of gender policy frameworks as a way of promoting gender parity in leadership in 2 universities in Bindura urban Zimbabwe. The main finding was that the male management norm still dominated in almost every strategic section of the structures of these universities, and that there was weak implementation of gender policies. To that extent, the main recommendation focused on the need to establish a monitoring and evaluation exercise designed to audit the effectiveness of gender policies in universities. All the 3 examiners agreed that this was a thesis of very high quality, again with one of them recommending that the thesis be accepted unconditionally.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education on Madonga Edward.
I hereby confer the degree. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Mauye Enoch Panganai. I will call the candidate's promoter, Prof. Mshoriwa, to present a brief profile of his research.
Mauye Enoch Panganai's study assessed the formative assessment challenges facing English language teachers in the Makoni district of Zimbabwe. The main finding was that many teachers face formative assessment challenges as a function of, among other things, insufficient time to assess appropriately, and the top-down assessment policy formulation. The need to involve teachers in the formulation of assessment policy was underlined in this study. All the 3 examiners agreed that this thesis evidences the rigor and criteria that meet expectations of a thesis at a doctoral level. Again, one of them was tempted to recommend that the thesis be accepted unconditionally.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of...
Mr. Rasani Tuboy Babini investigated the implementation of economics caps in East London Education District, South Africa. The study adopted pragmatism paradigm and made use of two theories, experiential and constructivism theory. The study showed that while the grade 12 economics teacher assert that they employed a mixed method when teaching classroom practice revealed that their teaching approach was predominantly teacher-centered. The new principle was applied to a limited extent. A framework which encourages learner participation when teaching economics content as per policy was developed and support the teachers. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education on Ratsane Tuboy Babini.
I hereby confer the degree. Thanks.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Zenda Ketiwe. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Prof. Maposa, to present a brief profile of her research.
Zenda Ketiwe's study sought to explore teachers' role in the promotion of child-friendly school environments and to assess implications for teacher professional development. Among the findings, the study established that teachers were generally aware at a moderate level of child-friendly school environment concept. Teachers confirmed to a limited familiarity of the international CFS-related treaties, and they had little or no access to national CFS-related policy circulars. School-based support from key stakeholders was reported as average and inconsistent. 2 manuscripts have been derived from the thesis and are currently under review in international and accredited journals.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education on Zenda Ketiwe.
I hereby confer that degree.
Thank you. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Christian Mzuyanda. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor A.O.B., to present a brief profile of his research.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, linked to established that irrigation impacted on crop yields, crop income, and consumption expenditures. Further, establishing through a multinomial regression model that irrigation participation influenced choice of livelihood strategy. These results shed light on the appropriate development path for the transition from homestead gardening to irrigation. And he recommended continued support to smallholder farmers in order to enhance food security. 3 papers are under review from this study.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Agricultural Economics on Christian Mzuyanda.
I hereby confer the degree. I'll make him inform.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Matlo Itumeleng Mojaji. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor AOB, to present a brief profile on her research.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, Matlo Itumeleng Mojaji obtained her BSc in Agricultural Economics from the University of Venda and a Master's in Agricultural Economics from the East University of Fort Hare. She now works at the national government as a senior agricultural economist. For her PhD, she sought to determine risk preference patterns and attitudes that influence the transition from homestead food gardening to smallholder irrigated farming. And she used all that probit modeling to empirically analyze the determinants of farmers' risk preference status. Her results show that homestead food gardening gardeners were less risk averse than the irrigating farmers. Sources of risk across the farmer groups included the uncertain climate and lack of cash and credit to finance inputs. Investment in water harvesting technologies will guarantee year-round availability of water and alleviate the risk associated with drought. One of our key recommendations to extend agricultural credit to farmers through service cooperatives and extension programs. She is grateful to the NRF and to the Water Research Commission.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Agricultural Economics on Matlo Itumeleng Mojaji.
I hereby confer the degree. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Mdoda Leletu. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor AOB, to present
crop farmers. The market participation of smallholder farmers has potential for income diversification and increasing productivity. The study identified factors influencing smallholders' decision to participate in markets and measured the profitability of homestead and irrigated crop farms using parametric and non-parametric tools, including gross margin analysis, Heckman, and profit frontier models. The crucial roles of socioeconomic and technical factors were confirmed and support recommendations for policy and targeted support strategies. Apart from the 2 manuscripts currently under review from this study, Mdoda has presented papers in international and national conferences and has 2 previous publications to his credit.
Yeah.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Agricultural Economics on Doda Leletu.
I hereby confer the degree. That is too common.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Mutambai Rufin Biana. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor Keane, to present a brief profile on his research.
In his PhD research, he improved the Stand-Cox proportional hazard model by introducing the factor exposure time. The aim of this study was to develop an improved and flexible model of the Cox proportional hazard model that can be used in modeling and determine risk factors associated with many diseases, such as malaria. The study was able to establish that the improved Cox proportional hazard model proposed was better in modeling malaria time to event data. 3 papers have been published in peer-reviewed international journals so far, and 2 more are under review. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Biostatistics on Mutambai Rufin Piana.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Nasila John Sangwacha. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor Keane, to present a brief profile on his research.
I obtained BSc Statistics from the University of Madras, India in 1981, and has MSc Statistics from Simon Fraser University. in Canada in 1992. In 2012, Nasela registered for his PhD program at the University of Fort Hare. He investigated the analysis for determination of metabolic syndrome components and the data from the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as particular determinations of pairs of variables, which had significant correlations. It was assumed that these significant correlations demonstrated the combined effect of pairs of variables in their contribution to the manifestation of cardiometabolic syndrome make their presence known directly and thus confirming the existence of separate components. His results show that, according to the statistical analysis, 3 factors were extracted. The logic behind the factor extraction was the high correlation of the variables with the respective factors. Nasela has presented his results at national conferences and has published an article in international journal with additional 3 papers under review.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Biostatistics on Nasila John Sungwacha.
I hereby confer the degree. Congratulations.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Ademo Yegun Olufemi Temitop. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor O. Oko, to present a brief profile on his research.
Mr. Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, and all protocols observed. Olufemi Temitope Ademoyegun obtained his BSc Honours degree in Industrial Chemistry from the University of Ilorin, Nigeria in the year 1998. He proceeded to the University of Ibadan in 2008. He enrolled for his doctorate at the University of Fort Hare in 2015. His PhD research focused on the evaluation of some emerging organic pollutants in selected wastewater treatment plants and receiving watershed in the Eastern Cape province. The findings of the study have provided our understanding of the occurrence, seasonal variation, and the fate of most commonly administered pharmaceutical and personal care products in wastewater treatment plants, and the efficiency of the same in their removal. 5 manuscripts have been submitted to some international peer-reviewed and DHET journals for consideration, and we are very optimistic of their successes. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry on Ademoyegun Olufemi Temitop.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Mandumbu Ronald. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor Mutengwa, to present a brief profile on his research.
All protocols observed. Ronald Mandumbu's study adopted a multidisciplinary approach to investigate tolerance stability of sorghum genotypes to Striga asiatica under drought, mulch, and various Striga asiatica strains. Mulch was found to increase the resilience of some sorghum genotypes infested with Striga. Resilience was fostered through maintenance of various sorghum growth parameters and chlorophyll content under mulch. Under drought stress, tolerant sorghum genotypes were able to maintain chlorophyll content and normalized difference vegetation index. Drought caused the host plant to allocate more dry matter to the roots in non-tolerant genotypes. Tillering was found to be an important tolerance mechanism for Striga-infested sorghum. Tolerant genotypes maintained productivity despite being exposed to different Striga asiatica strains. Sorghum genotypes varied in their ability to produce Striga lactones, which constitute one of the resistance mechanisms of Striga. Ronald has published 3 articles from his PhD thesis and 2 others have already been accepted. The co-supervisors of the study were Dr. Mabasa from the University of Zimbabwe and Prof. E. Mwenje from Bindura University of Technology. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Crop Science on Mandumbu Ronald.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Bayeguni Christopher. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Professor Gwavava, to present a brief profile on his research.
Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, all protocol observed. Christopher Bayeguni study focused on the use of sedimentary geochemistry, geophysics techniques to identify characteristics that would classify the Eka shells as a potential unconventional shell gas reservoir. The study has identified the Eka group as a potential unconventional gas reservoir, which is important for future studies. Geophysical and subsidence studies have unraveled the basin architecture, which will provide a reference for future exploration projects in the study area. Furthermore, the geophysical results have revealed the extensive network of dolerites throughout the study area, which has drawn significant attention to fracking operations. To date, he has published 5 peer-reviewed papers in accredited journals, with 2 articles accepted and in press now, and a further 2 more in the second round of review.
The findings have also been presented at both local and international conferences. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Geology on Baiguni Christopher.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Mundwa Russell. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Dr. Simon, to present a brief profile on his research.
All protocols observed. A brief profile of Russell Mundwa. His thesis was on appraisal of experimental performance and modeling of an on-farm dairy milk bulk cooler, a case study of 4-day farm. Russell developed mathematical models that can be used to predict the energy consumption of the bulk cooling milk and also to determine the savings that could be generated there by utilization of the waste heat recovery that predominantly was just going to be wasted. So shown from the findings was that the volume of milk extracted, the temperature of the milk, and the temperature of the coolant are the primary contributing factors to the cooling energy demand of the bulk cooling. Russell presented his findings at 3 international conferences, 4 accredited local conferences, and has his article published and another one submitted. Thank you, Russell.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Physics on Mundwa Russell.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Parwada Cosmes. I will now call Dr. Manyevere to present a brief profile on his research.
All protocols observed. In his thesis, Cosmos focused on synergetic effects of litter quality and soil stability in 7 areas of soil association in the Tabelanga area, Eastern Cape. The study was conducted in 2 phases. Phase 1 involved the characterization of soil properties that influence soil erodibility in the area. Cosmos managed to quantify that 2% of soil organic matter was the most influential to the instability and soil erodibility. Phase 2, Cosmos looked at soil incubation experiments to determine the effects of litter quality on soil stabilization and soil erodibility. Susceptibility of soil to splash erosion was also determined under simulated rainstorms. He further quantified that addition of organic litter to soil associations showed significant effects in stabilization of soils against erosion. Cosmos has already published 2 articles from his PhD thesis, and another has been accepted in peer-reviewed journals, while 3 other articles are currently under review. Cosmos is currently a lecturer at Pintura University. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Soil Science on Paradwa Cosmos.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Mangi. Oh.
Mangi's thesis sought to evaluate self-efficacy in clinical performance of professional nurses who were initiated and trained to manage antiretroviral therapy of HIV patients. The study reveals that professional nurses have the evaluative ability to be patient-driven, offer interventions, to identify the breakdown points, and take prognostic care decisions, as well as monitor and set adjustment, possess the self-efficacy to diagnose and plan based on availability of patient data, and as well formulate short, long-term goals based on daily and measurable outcomes. Additionally, the study revealed that self-efficacy, the professional nurses have the ability to conduct physical assessment, take history, manage time, collect objective and subjective data, and could document such data accordingly. Overall, the self-efficacy and clinical performance of the professional nurses trained on NIMAD program was judged to be satisfactory. The study recommends the need for the sustainability of the NIMAD program for better health outcomes of HIV screening patients in South African context, and the provision of in-service education or continuous professional development for professional nurses working in primary health care, in order to create opportunity for reflection and sustaining of professional nurses' self-efficacy in clinical performance. 2 papers are currently under review in international accredited journals. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing on Mangi Nozuko Glenrose.
I hereby confer the degree. Nabong.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Chakunda Vincent. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Prof. Nzewi, to present a brief profile on his research.
All protocols observed. Vincent works at the Midland State University in Zimbabwe, and his thesis has to do with, and his thesis is about the colonial era and intergovernmental relations under the colonial system. He argues that Zimbabwe from the colonial era to date and under the intergovernmental system, under the colonial system, was anchored on a segregationist, centralist ideology that was attained through the use of draconic and ingrained racially discriminatory laws. One of the critical findings of his study is that it was able to establish that the unitary system of Zimbabwe is anchored on a strong centralist ideology that suffocates the autonomy of subnational institutions. In the same context, there is an absence of political will on the part of the ZANU-PF-led government to implement crucial constitutional reforms that have a bearing on the configuration of intergovernmental relations. The study also revealed that
the finding of the study revealed that MDG goals, poverty reduction program, did not make any significant impact in reducing poverty within the state. A major contribution of this dissertation is the development of sustainable poverty reduction model. The model emphasized the need for program awareness, people's consultation, and participation in formulating of poverty reduction initiatives. The model recognizes that aligning strategies to the peculiar needs of each environment is a critical component for the sustenance of any poverty alleviation program. Duro Kifa's recommendation and model for poverty reduction are imperatives and timely considering the United Nations change agenda from the Millennium Development Goals to the Sustainable Development Goals, which is aimed at fast-tracking global poverty reduction and improved living conditions in both developed and developing countries. Duro Kifa had the privilege to present related work from the thesis at national and international conferences. She has also published 2 articles in relation to her thesis. One striking milestone for this student is an encouraging platform for young girls to attain to doctoral degrees. We had also had a young girl from the Department of Geology at the age of 26 in Wits University, and here we have a young girl at the age of 25.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Administration in Public Administration on Duro Kifa Anuoluwapo Abusede.
Well done. I hereby confer the degree. Sure.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Khwaza Makhosandile Hercules. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Prof. Ijeoma, to present a brief profile on his research.
Congratulations, Makhosandile. His thesis was investigating the utilization of the AG's report in improving audit outcomes at selected municipalities within the Amotelo District Municipality. The study concludes that the stagnation and regression in audit outcomes of the municipalities within Amatole is as a result of non-implementation of audit action plan towards addressing issues raised by the Auditor General. The council structure is not exercising adequate oversight, coupled with instability in municipal council and the role they play in municipality through receiving bad audit outcomes. Hence, the research finding addresses these administrative anomalies. He is one of the high officials within the Amatole municipality. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Adane Martin. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Prof. Pidri, to present a brief profile on his research.
Martin Adane has the following qualifications to his credit: a BSc obtained in 2003, a PGDE awarded in 2008, and an MSc completed in 2009, all at the University of Cape Coast in Ghana. Martin is currently a lecturer of information systems at Walter Sisulu University. Martin enrolled for his PhD in information systems in 2013, and his thesis investigated how a framework can assist SMEs in the use of cloud computing in the Accra Tema metropolis of Ghana. A knowledge of the factors associated with adoption decisions and those that significantly influence the decision are required to ensure a successful adoption process. The findings reveal interesting insights into understanding issues that affect the overall decision to adopt and use cloud computing services by SMEs. His thesis proposed an adoption framework which aims to assist SMEs to adopt and use cloud computing services and make them relevant in the global market. Martin has written 3 journal articles from this study.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Information Systems on Adane Martin.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Gundu Tapiwa. I will now call the candidate's promoter, Prof. Flowerday, to present a brief profile on his research.
Tapiwa Gundu has the following qualifications to his credit: a diploma in e-commerce and web development from the Business and Computer Institute of London, a Bachelor of Science degree, a Bachelor of Science Honours degree, and a Master's degree cum laude in Information Systems from the University of Fort Hare. Tapiwa is currently working as an information analyst at ELCB Information Services. Tapiwa enrolled for his PhD DPhil in Information Systems in 2013. DPhil, His thesis questioned the effectiveness of information security awareness and training attempts to raise security compliance, as some employees tend not to fully comply with their organization's security policies, regardless of the knowledge they have acquired. He attributes this to 2 possible factors, namely, poor assessment methods that do not accurately measure the employee's knowledge and behaviors, and/or omissive behavior. The primary aim of his study was to design a framework for information security compliance, reinforcement, and assessment. Tapiwa has written 3 journal articles based on his study.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Information Systems on Gundu Tapiwa. Well done.
I hereby confer the degree. Okay, yeah.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Social Science in African Studies on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Makapela Lubabalo. Peter Bantu Desmond.
Yes.
Humsha Sipamandla.
The Homs.
Sibanda Sipho. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Social Science in Counseling Psychology on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Adams Luvo. Gibithole Kamagwin. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Social Science in Communication on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mawokomai Bettina. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Social Science in Rural Development on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Nohuka Asanda. Pikirai Kelvin Tinashe. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Social Work on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Gamna Nondwe. Lutuli Nondwe. Yandiswa Makokwana. Mnunzwa Tobisa. Ndoia Neziswa Faith. Khanya Xongo.
From myself.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Social Science in Sociology on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
James Tombovuyo Gloria.
Five.
Sibanda Maxwell.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Education on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Faith Nolukolo Shungulu.
Nepal.
Joanne Lorien McLaren. Enoch Nyao Nyoto. Kaya Nyika Nyika.
Is Zamfoni.
Siyabulela Pampila. Zukiswa Sakati.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Masters of Laws on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Chimeri Vongai. Sukoluhle Belinda Nunu. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Philosophy in Human Rights on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Afari Tuwasi Lucy.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Agriculture in Agricultural Economics on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Zinhle Gomo.
Zandile Masela. Sipumle Kapesh.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Science in Agricultural Economics on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree. Daud
Sanelise Tafa.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Agriculture in Agricultural Extension on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I do hereby confer the degree.
Lokita Majama Maka. Atengosi Ngulana.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Agriculture in Animal Science on the person whose name appears on the program.
I do hereby confer the degree.
Letswale Putian Thomas. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Agriculture in Crop Science on the person whose name appears on the program.
I do hereby confer the degree.
Mjobile Mkolis. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Science in Chemistry on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Tagata Nwabisa. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Science in Computer Science on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Ngube Prince Dagon. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Science in Geology on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Priscilla Chima. Nkoslati Ndlovu. Sikhulule Sinuka.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Science in GIS and Applied Remote Sensing on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Ajosi Yonwaba.
Isa. That's good queen.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Science in Microbiology on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Abiodan Atinuke Adeborio. Aboy Iguara.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Science in Physics on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Glory Mafo Pantan. Singata Mkai. Nolthando Duduzile Precious Mzolo.
Okay. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Science in Biostatistics and Epidemiology on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Osoji Georgeline Onwabochi. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Philosophy in Environmental Studies on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Libenya Litele.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Magister Curationis in Nursing Education on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Zukiswa Brenda Ntlokonkulu. Nomzekelo Phama. Okay. Nozithulele Sidloyi.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Administration in Public Administration on the person whose names appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Deyise Zolani. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Commerce in Business Management on the persons whose names appear on the program. Chigori Darlington Tawanda. Well done.
Congratulations.
Katurura Munyaradzi Courage. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Commerce in Industrial Psychology for research on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Halam Kanyiswa. Nongula Soyiselwe Zona.
Yes, kinda.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Administration Industrial Psychology coursework on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Chikuya Alberta Fungai. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Commerce in Industrial Psychology on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Landum Zumkulu. Marazanye Joram. Muzerengwa Cedric. Nyawema Claudius. Development Studies. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Master of Public Administration on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Madikiza Sambane Ndiliwe. Magasin Nomonde Sakiwe.
Nyameze.
Mashallah, babongiwe. Well done. This is development studies.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Social Science Honors in Communication on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Obewose Mangako Ellen. Criminology. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Social Science Honors in Criminology on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Ngasane Sakiwo. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Social Science Honors in Development Studies on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Ganesh evade me. No ayingowe nani. Nhloko Busisiwe. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Social Science Honors in Industrial Relations on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Musa Gilichana. Tobisa Magrupu. Matabo Mukwena. Lubabalo Nombutho. Amanda Nyanda. Buhle Sneke. Sandy Soskiti.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Social Science Honors in Psychology on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Jack Kanyisa, Luvacha Zikona, Mili Anele, Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Social Science Honors in Theology on the persons whose names appear on the program. Bacela Lucanyo, Mapuma Monde, Mohamed Kanyisa, Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the diploma, postgraduate diploma in archives and record management.
I hereby confer the
Ayanda Lingela.
diploma.
Cindy Swasilo.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to award postgraduate certificate in education FET phase on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby award the diploma.
Zukisani Malima. Annelisa Mkhwali. Zinhle Siko.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to award postgraduate certificate in education primary on the person whose names appear on the program. Mandava Aziena.
I hereby make the award.
Right.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Agriculture Honors in Agricultural Economics on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mazizi Awonge Spenati. Mthotywa Bulelani. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Agriculture Honours in Agricultural Extension on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Nokuthula Machava. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours in Chemistry on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Khwaza Vuyolethu. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours in Crop Science on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Makaula Esihle Bu. Mathiso Ncebakazi. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours in Geography on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Bongoza Sibulele. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours in Soil Science on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Maqhubela Nosipho. Okay.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Administration Honours in Public Administration on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Dukisa Nomava Miranda.
Vuyisile Gqirhana. Nezisa Liwani. Fundiswa Phyllis Don Maki. Bongani Elvis Mgese. Sinovuyo Nohamba. Mzukisi Khanyiso Richard Khala. Zoleka Kholinyathi. Sabelo Situli. Wela Zozo.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honors in Information Systems on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Yolanda Soul Eric. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honors in Transport Economics on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Nyamakazi Tembela Vuisanani. Blessing. Menziwa Nobatembu. Dom Kolela Sylvester. Yawa Nomakholwa.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Arts on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Wanda Kwinana.
Hey, Kunan. Hey.
Malobola babalwa. Mcenge thanda uxolo. Notata Amanda Othembele. Vakala Yanga.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Applied Communication Management on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Makinana Sinawe. Masawa Aspisia. Sheshe Kunontle.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Library and Information Science on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Baxa Tabisa. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Music on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Ngoko Eletu.
Music.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Social Science on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby
Lakalaka nontandazo. Mabele buthumelo. Macanda zinhle. Makatsi Thandile. Makhongolo Lwanda. Maphungu Ncedo. Maziana Lukhaya. Mbonisa Phelisa. Mlalandle Chumisa. Umtyumeka Ibanati. Nako mandiphumle. Ngeleni Sisanda. Ninzi Nkosi yemntu. Nomadwayi Sakhumzi.
Nomadwayi.
Nomzanga Zimasa. Nomadwayi Ntombozuko. Khumbu Zimkhitha. Siyeka Vuyelwa. Solonzi Sandiso. Tile Kakamba.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Social Work on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Ruth Adams. Ntsika Koqwana. Azola Kilili. Nomathukela Matubetube. Hlumi Samdaka. Zianda Msichana. Chino Chasa Mutema. Wandile Sigwela. Crystal Spalding. Mandle Nkosi Spielman. Lwando Chazi. Noluvuyo Zuzani.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Theology on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Santi Dandoyake Homposhe. Sikiwe Sandile Master. Dinisa Masitembe. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to award the lower diploma in fine art on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby award the diploma.
Mdewu Siakholwa.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Education Primary on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby award the degree.
Mamgwevu Zanele Ganqa. Siyabonga Zozi.
Siya.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Education in Agriculture on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Sithembile Kekelo. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Education in Humanities on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Babalwa Fagu. Okay. Good.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Laws on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Zikona Annelisa Tuka. Anemari Rumbidzai Kono. Pindile Joni. Sinazo Anik Makwentu. Lundi Mbutho. Lundi Sivuyile Mcwabe. Yandisa Mgidlana. Unathi Zenani Mgolombane. Mpumelelo Mkhusane. Jacob Swiri Mukwatlo, Sibabalwe Mqhayi, Aphiwe Mqomboti, Thabisa Mthaba, Somila Mukhu,
Robert,
Thamsanqa Peter, Masiqole Qeqe, Kabelo Sibiti, Sipho Johannes Sikhosana, Lungisile Stoffel, Vuyani Elisman Tsako, Zukiswa Chaka,
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of LLB stream for non-law degree holders.
I hereby confer the degree.
Memani Xolani, Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of LLB stream for B Juris holders on the person whose name appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
In absentia. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the diploma in local government law and administration on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby award the certificate.
Hejane Mhleli, editor. Martini Sephatiswa. Mevana Nkosinathi Vereza. Mlamla Nonkazimlo Primrose. Matanzima onke. Papiana madoda Lawrence.
HR. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Administration in Human Resource Management on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Sbusiso Madinda. Peter Ngumba. Busisiwe Somni.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Administration in Public Administration on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Sinethemba Mahonono. Abongile Machaya. Nosipelo Machala.
Hey.
Doli Athenjiwe Mdumuta.
Lo degree yako yawo.
Sinazo mente.
Sinazo.
Zwelethu Njama. Papa Mashon no Bebe.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Public. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Administration in Public Administration on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Lina Davids. Ludwe Brave Man Fani. Mabuti Eric Keu.
Nokuku Gladys Magwanqa. Bongolethu Mboniswa. Fezeka Mgwedane. Nokuzola Patricia Mlahleki. Luxolo Mphongo. Viwe Banele Ndamase.
Dad.
Nomvuselelo Nombila. Nomakhwezi Ponoshe Radzilana. Ngenisile Wellington Tekile.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Accounting on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mabete Sianda. Economics. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Commerce in Business Management and Economics on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Aphiwe Xandlovu. Mlondolozi Wanga Fodo. Thando Mdleleni. Asanda Siphosethu Pityana.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Commerce in Business Management and Industrial Psychology on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Mani Kamva. Papani Ongama Kamagu. Tafeni Anda. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Commerce General on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Jubeni Somila. Mahe Tinashe. Sochongaye Putumile. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of the Bachelor of Commerce Information Systems on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Loliwe Luyolo. Mdunyelwa Mathabo. Business science. Due to award the higher certificate in public administration for community service on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby award the certificate.
Hobo Zingisa. Khasi Nancy. Soyiko Tubalake.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Agriculture in Agricultural Economics on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Luxolo Dasha. Edmond Bulelani Janji. Simbongile Violethu class. Mpumzi Matikizela. Sidwell Lindikaya Malangin. Zimkita Mapangwana. Yanga Matam. Veronica Miselwa Mazula. Yamkela Mkonde. Apiwe Nodo. Asavela Khwalumbana. Lusanda Setlana. Phathisisa Thobindlala. Thabisa Dorothy Chezi.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Agriculture in Animal Production Science on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Bongisa Bomba.
In Animal Production Science, is it the one? Okay, on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Dubula Zenande Sibusiso. What is this? Crop science. She's looking it down now. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture in Crop Soil Sciences on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby
Manxiwa Luvuyo.
confer.
That's what it says here. Okay. So it's production. Athenkosi ongezwa Maseti. Pame Siphamandla. Mkhosana Jongikhaya Mahlubandile. Zondile Zanele. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture in Crop Soil Science on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Makhamba Yanga. Soil Science. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture in Soil Science on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Nenze Nontsikelele Julia. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, Crop and Horticultural Sciences on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Kibisela Siposakhe.
Science, so Bachelor of Science.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Science on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby.
Nadia Nobuhle Costa. Aphiwe Mchiza. Sive Melane. Malbongwe Ngakana. Sindiso Ndlovu. Zisanda Poswayo. Yolanda Asavela Sishuba. Kasadi Deni Chimanga. Zandi Swakolo. Sipamandla Vincent Zanekile.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree Bacheloris Curationis on the person whose name appears on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Brandline Mandi Singipa. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer the degree of Bachelor of Health Sciences in Human Movement Science on the persons whose names appear on the program.
I hereby confer the degree.
Lutumo Vueletu Bizani. Asemahle Cele. Ayabonga Khaka. Phumelelo Mayi. Petronella Yamkelwe Mthethwa.
Well, these are the beautiful people that are going to be leading us in this next generation and absolutely changing our world. So let's give them another round of applause for their achievements. I really want to thank our marimba band. They've seen us through, and I love their music. And now we're going to enjoy the choir one more time. Thank you, choir.
Uyiminyaka, lo mntwana efunda, uyiminyaka.
Get
Thank you so much, choir. You always know how to keep our feet moving and our hands clapping. Thank you so much for those great songs. I want to have you welcome with me the president of the convocation, Lwazi Ratia. And so would you please come forward and deliver your address?
To the Chancellor of the University, to the Vice Chancellor and his executive management team, to the deans, professors, all protocol observed here in front with me in the presidium, to the parents, to friends and family, and most importantly, to the graduates. Ndiyanibulisa ngegama lomfelo wethu. There isn't much that I'm going to say today, but I'm hoping that the message that we are carrying is going to leave a mark. Go out there and represent the brand of the university, one of the greatest universities in South Africa and the entire continent, that is Fort Hare. As graduates, we are sending you out at a very critical stage, when the country is unstable, fragile, and in turmoil, both politically and economically. We are bound in chains of poverty, unemployment, and lack of opportunities for the youth. But I'm comforted by the words of the former president, President Thabo Mbeki, who echoed these sentiments. Gloom and despondency have never defeated adversity. Trying times need courage and resilience. Our strength as people is not tested during the best of times. As we said before, we should never become despondent because the weather is bad, nor should we turn triumphalist because the sun shines. Such words should inspire us to work hard and not to despair in difficult times, for we are the solution of the current problems we are facing. Any university depends on its former students for survival. One secret that all of you must know is that the University of Fort Hare is not previously disadvantaged. It is currently disadvantaged. And as such, there is a need for all of us today to work together in helping the institution by giving back. Like Mandela once said, being at Fort Hare is like being in Harvard and Cambridge at the same time. I plead with you all to help lobby for funds to keep the spirit of the institution alive. The number of postgraduates is growing in the institution, and Fort Hare is fortunate enough to attract a lot of students across the continent, and hence there is a need to lobby for funds to support these students. A university's acumen, reputation, and stature is solely based on research and its postgraduate output. And despite our challenges, the institution is continuing to grow and produce PhDs and Masters of State. With these words, go out there and make us proud and fly the Fort Hare flag high with pride and dignity. As we celebrate the second century of the existence of the institution, I give you these words. Let us make our own history and build on the history of the institution as a formidable force in championing the emancipation of our people against social, economic, and political upheavals. The color of poverty remains black. The color of unemployment remains black. The color of crime remains black. Go provide solutions to our people. I thank you.
Thank you for those words, and I hope that they are words that we remember, that we are meant to leave our mark, that even as today you are branded in your graduation gowns, which are Fort Hare, may you go forward representing this university and what it has taught you and what it has stood for together in excellence, so that you too can go forward with that same motto deeply embedded as you show character, and as Mr. Roti has mentioned, also resilience, and as we heard earlier, integrity and honesty. All of those qualities will leave its mark and will show forth for what we as an institution stand for, and what we as a country want to be able to represent. So thank you very much. I also would like to ask that our SRC representative, our president, come forward and give us some remarks.
The Chancellor, Dr. Zabeza, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Buhlungu, and all the members of the Council that are present here today, the management of the University of Fort Hare, the academics and non-academics of the institution, students of the University of Fort Hare, the parents that are here today. Lastly but not least, let me greet the graduates. I greet you all in the name of peace. Amen. Mine is brief, standing in front of you on behalf of the students of the University of Fort Hare, more especially the Student Representative Council. As we are here today, graduates, we are celebrating your achievement in your academic responsibility. And we wanted to recognize all those whom have contributed to ensure that this day becomes a success. It was not an easy journey, but you have worked tirelessly to reach where you are today. And what you know is that the graduation is an exciting moment, and it's both an ending of the difficulties that you went through during your days. But also, it is a beginning of the new journey for your life. Therefore, the education that you are inquiring today carries the potential to uplift our societies out of poverty and inequality by simultaneously ensuring the access and employment in the labor market. But the critical question that we need to respond unto is that what needs to be done by our government in specific and academics in general in addressing the issue of unemployment as part of working towards the fulfillment of our dreams as young people. We therefore acknowledge the work that has been done by our institution to sharpen these graduates by giving them the knowledge that they will use to change many lives in our communities. Therefore, the recent negative events that are happening in our country will not determine your future, but your education and your academic achievement will provide a clear direction for your lives. Therefore, material conditions that are before us needs the people that are able to challenge the day-to-day problems that are facing our societies. And for you have achieved such an academic excellence and qualification, we believe that you are going to achieve what all those challenges, and we believe that you are equal to the task that lies ahead before you. In the celebration of life of Steve Biko in this month, I see as the most important thing for me to quote from his words when he says, I quote, "A person without a positive history is like a vehicle without an engine." Goes good. Therefore, today, you have made a positive history in this institution, and you have made a positive history for your lives. We therefore strongly believe that you are going to attain all the challenges in the future. Phambi kokuba nihlale phansi kuthi ke kwakuba njena sibone kunyanzelekile kokuba ngaba sidlulise amazombulelo kubazali bethu Ndithi imizamo yenu negalelo lenu ekuqinisekiseni okokuba usuku ngenene luyimpumelelo masilibulele. Kudala ke nisebenza nisehla nisonyuka nibila nisoma nizama ukuqinisekisa okokuba ngaba abantwana benu namhlanje bathwesa izidanga. Elo galelo elo bazali siyalibulela kakhulu. Sithi lwango olusuku lungazala amathamsanqa, lwango olusuku lungazala ingqesho kubantu bakuthi khona ukuze siphume kobuhlupheka sikuko, siphume nakwezi ngxaki sikuzo phaya emakhaya. Siyabhiliva kuba ngaba bazali noko masiyibulele kakhulu ubukho benu buthetha lukhulu ukuthi apha. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be reminded that life is a journey and that this is just the beginning. The doors are open to you now. You get to move forward. You get to press on. And yes, there will be challenges, but we trust that all that you've been equipped with will ensure that every one of those challenges will be completely obliterated and you will move forward for the blessing of this institution and this country as well. So thank you for those words. I also would like now to ask that our council member, Ms. Nameza, would come forward and give us some of her words.
Simenyiwe, seza, sabona, sanqina. Bazithwesiwe izidanga abantwana bethu namhlanje. Sithi halala ke kubo ngalemva kwemini. Ngokugunyaziswa iCouncil yalapha eForte ikhokhelwe ngumama uThandi Olaine. Batheke mandime apha ndidlulise amazwi ombulelo kule nginginya ihlanganyele kunye nathi kule ndawo. Mandiyithathe ke lenxaxheba ndibulele kuqala kubazali. Njengoko umphathi wabafundi egqiba kutsho uba abazali bancama konke khona ukuze abantwana babo bakwazi ukuba kule ndawo bakwazi ukufunda kude kube yile mini esikuyo xa singqina impumelelo yabo. Siyabonga abazali ngako konke enikwenzayo khona ukuze le mini ibe yimpumelelo. Ndibulele kubahlohli abenza konke okusemandleni kwabo into kokubana abantwana bethu babe bayagraduate ngale mini namhlanje, benze izikhokhelo nezibonelo ezivula indlela ukuze le mini yanamhlanje sibe siyibhiyozela sonke kule ndawo. Ndibulele osingabo namhlanje abagraduateayo, ndithi kubo nxatshoke nisebenzile. Abazali benu nibenze baba nelunda lokuba abantwana babo ngale mini nabo bazithwesiwe izidanga, bazizinto elizweni. Nize ke nihlale ningumzekelo omhle, nithi xa niphakamisa igama lale university kubonakale ukuba ngokwenene niqeqeshwe kweli ziko. Njengoko sibonethelo yakwaTyali, imarathon izawuqala, kuzawuhlanganwa eDavidson Stadium ngo6:30 ekuseni. Imarathon iqale ngo7. Kuzawubalekwa i6 kilometers, 13 kilometers and 26 kilometers. We are still, the registration is still open online, and we will be allowed to also register at the venue in the morning. So the students, the lecturers, the academics that are here are all invited to join University of Forte kunye ne community yakwaTyali kuleyo marathon ngomso. Ndiyabulela.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nameza, for that. I really appreciate those words. We are now going to be dissolving the congregation. And I would please now call upon the Chancellor to dissolve this congregation. After the Chancellor has spoken, the congregation will sing the National Anthem, and then the choir will thereafter render a musical item whilst the academic procession leaves the hall. Thank you. Chancellor?
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the congregation, I thank our graduates. I thank our parents. And I thank all our guests for the interest that has been shown in this university. And I thank you all for your presence at this graduation. Under the powers vested in me as Chancellor of the University of Fort Hare, I now declare this congregation dissolved. I want to make a request, and that request is that the university choir should lead us in the singing of the National Anthem. And I will also request the congregation to stand and to remain standing while the procession leaves the hall in the manner indicated by the program director, the choir.
Mosisike